Motherload is proudly supported by Fitness World. Your fitness, your way. Motherload is a space for honest conversations about the invisible load women carry: motherhood, wellness, resilience, identity, and everything in between. Because strength isn't about perfection. It's about rebuilding, reconnecting, and becoming who we're meant to be through every season of life. Today's guest is Natassia Liavas, Vice President of Fitness Services at Fitness World, and a leader who has spent nearly 2 decades helping people rethink what fitness can look like. As a breast cancer survivor, her own health journey transformed the way she views strength, wellness, and resilience. And today, we're talking about building a healthier life from the inside out. So I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I know is important to you, which is strength beyond the scale. For so many women, myself included, fitness has traditionally been about losing weight or being as thin as possible. But I think the narrative on that is shifting. What do you think women should actually be focusing on when it comes to their health and fitness?
Well, the narrative, Natassia, is changing because we are changing it.
Yes.
And that makes me so proud of women to stand up and really think about what do we need and what makes us happy. And while I think a lot of us, when we were younger, fitness meant looking a certain way, as we start to mature and gain wisdom, it is now changing into feeling good in our bodies and being able to live in a way that is to the fullest. And so now, for a lot of us, we're looking at longer lifespans, at mitigating hormone changes, at understanding our bodies changing after big life occurrences like having children, and being able to still stay comfortable and active and healthy so we can live long to enjoy our lives. And for me, that is so much more powerful and purposeful than just looking a certain way.
Or weighing a certain number.
Yes.
I absolutely can attest to that. I just feel so empowered when I have strength these days. Honestly, after having a twin pregnancy, I felt like my body was broken and I had such a weakened lower abdominal, lower back pain. But ever since I joined with a trainer at Fitness World, I've been totally shifting my mindset on what strength really means to me and what fitness and health is. Like I've never felt stronger. And the more I lean into that, the less I care about what the number on the scale is. I don't actually even weigh myself anymore. It's like, can I lift these groceries in by myself without asking my husband to help?
Yes.
And that's just so empowering for me. So I just love that response so much. And I'm curious to know if you can kind of elaborate on what truly is the importance of lean muscle mass for women, especially women postpartum as we age and as we get into our late 30s and 40s.
It is so important to have muscle because muscle is like what saves us. So our muscle mass keeps our metabolism high and our muscle mass keeps our bone density high. So as we age, naturally you lose muscle. So if you don't use it, you lose it.
It's so true.
And gaining and maintaining muscle is, for a woman, the #1 priority.
Yeah.
And it regulates hormones. It helps our bones stay healthy. So as we age, we don't fall and break a hip or have any setbacks. And also, actually, weightlifting gets you through your pregnancy in a way that you can bounce back much quicker without a lot of those setbacks after you have a baby.
Right.
So in general, for women, weight training, I would say, is a top priority.
It's the #1.
Yes.
I feel like sometimes I struggle with how long it takes to get there. Like I feel like I'm pretty consistent at the gym, and maybe it's because I have these like long limbs, but like, or if you go on vacation, like does it set you right back with losing it? Like what in terms of consistency?
So here's what we found.
Yeah.
Intensity is less important than consistency.
Okay.
And so for us, being busy moms and working moms and just adults that have responsibility, it's more important that you stay consistent rather than you do a really high intensity that you can't maintain.
Gotcha.
So for us, and what I have found that's been the most important for me to stay consistent is finding a regimen and a routine that works in my actual daily lifestyle.
Okay. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be all or nothing. It has to be something for us that feels enjoyable and also that feels sustainable.
That you can
and when
stick to.
we stick to it for the long term, that's really when we start to see the results.
Right.
So I used to have a mindset that I had to go hard and I had to break my body down until it hurt. And if I couldn't work out for 6 days, I may as well work out for 0 days.
Yeah.
And what I teach and coach a lot of our coaches and a lot of our clients and members to understand is that if 6 days doesn't fit into your lifestyle, 3 is better than none.
Yeah.
4 is better than 2.
Yeah.
So whatever fits in your lifestyle, that you can stay consistent. And once you start seeing the results and you start feeling strong and you start feeling really comfortable in your body, it becomes addictive.
Right.
And then you find your rhythm of maintaining it and becoming consistent.
Gotcha. Okay. And why should women feel comfortable using the whole gym, not just the cardio section?
I love this question because when I first started working in the industry, which was, you mentioned, a couple decades ago, which to me seems wild. So almost 20 years ago, I started as a personal trainer working in a gym.
Okay.
And at that time, it was a very male-dominated industry, both from a member base and from a team member base.
Okay.
So as a female, I actually felt very uncomfortable going into the weight area because you didn't see many females in the weight area, either as personal trainers or as members and clients.
Yeah.
And so I stuck to where most of the females were, which was in the cardio section or in the group fitness room. And there's nothing wrong with those two areas, but in order to really get the benefits of weight training, we need to be in the weight room.
Okay.
And over the last 2 decades, I have found a huge change in the demographic because of education, empowerment, and also there's so many more of us females working in the industry that it welcomes our clients and our members to us. We have like people that can understand us, that can help us in a meaningful way. So we feel more comfortable and confident to use the entire gym. So whether you're doing it on your own or whether you're using an app to guide you or a personal trainer to help you, now when you walk into larger facilities, you're gonna see females everywhere.
Yeah.
We've done a really good job of educating people around how this can help.
Yeah.
We've just started engaging. And when the team members are there and the members see us there, and you walk in as a new member and you see another female like you working on that side of the gym, then it becomes something that feels more comfortable
and approachable
for all of us. So I'm really proud of that change. And I've had a big mission, both in my career as a personal trainer and now as an executive in our industry, to continue empowering women and educating women and kind of showing them the way, because there's no reason that we only belong in one part of a facility.
I absolutely agree. And I think that is such an empowering message. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit more about Nastassia's leadership position and taking up space in the industry. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Motherload. I'm here today with my guest Natassia from Fitness World, and we are just going to jump back into talking about your leadership role as Vice President of Fitness Services. You started in an industry that not that long ago was largely male dominated. Today, we're seeing more women in leadership roles than ever before. What changes have you witnessed, and what does good leadership actually look like?
Ooh, I love this question. I've witnessed a lot of changes in the industry, but I do also believe it's because our team member base is now matching our member base. And our member base in fitness is truly for everybody. Everyone, every body, every goal. We do not discriminate, and fitness is inclusive of everybody. And so if your team doesn't reflect that same diversity and demographic, you'll have a really hard time connecting with everyone. And so as an industry, I think we've matured that over the years, we really started understanding that. And as women started to take on more leadership positions, we have found that in an industry that is highly emotional, because you are working with people, and that is a personal connection, and that is something that has to do with personal goals. We really relate to members in a meaningful way. So I'm really proud that Fitness World is extremely inclusive of all different types of people, because our member base is all different types of people.
I love that.
And so these changes have allowed us to progress as a company, to progress as an industry, to connect with people on a different and more intimate level, and also be able to create a larger community where everybody feels welcome. So in my leadership philosophy, I think it's so important to have female leaders in any organization at the top, because what it does is it shows our younger generation something to aspire to and something that you can become to one day.
Yeah. How many fitness fitness leaders, I guess you could say, are you governing right now?
So we have 220 personal trainers plus our managers and over 150 group fitness instructors.
Oh my gosh.
And an amazing blend of different cultures and different education and different backgrounds and different reasons of why we all entered into this industry.
I love it so much.
And it's so empowering because what we do has a lot of purpose.
Yes.
And for each of us, that purpose is unique and defined based on our own personal experiences.
Wow.
So it's a lovely place to be and a really cool job to have to be able to work with so many amazing people.
Yeah,
I feel very honored.
Yeah, I saw recently everybody went to Cabo based on or if like a high performer. Like that's such an incredible way to reward hardworking leadership.
We always say we work hard, really hard, but we also play really hard. And that's kind of fitness.
Yeah.
So we work really hard in the gym as members when we're in the gym. So then in life we can go play hard and enjoy.
Such a good motto.
We embody that with the way we run our company and the way we run our team. So that's part of my leadership philosophy is like, if we're not having fun, we are not doing this right. We work in a gym. And our job is to make this the best part of our members' day. And if we're not having the best day, then how are we going to do that for you? So we definitely enjoy our time.
I love that. It's very inspiring. On the flip side, what would you say challenges still exist for women stepping into leadership? Can you give me any examples?
So I think this is it's an interesting question because I don't look at being a female as a disadvantage or an advantage. I always look at the best team member for the role will get the promotion.
Totally.
And if they end up being a female, then they end up being a female. And so for me, I always teach my team, be the best at your current job and the doors will always open for you. And if that ends up being you, we are gonna be firm, fair, and friendly around the decisions that we make. So I think the only challenge is if you have in your head that you're making it a challenge. And at the end of the day, if you're the best at what you do, the door will always open for you. And I don't think we should ever be thinking that we don't deserve the positions or that it's harder for us to get the positions, because I just truly, at least in my leadership, don't believe that to be a fact. I always look at the best people and the best role. And if that happens to be you, then I'm going to take you onto my team.
I love that so much. How do women build confidence when they're the only woman in the room, if that's something they're struggling with?
So I think there's two things with building confidence and genuinely being intrinsically confident. I have found that the best way to build confidence is to do something you thought you couldn't do. So if you are sitting in that room and you are scared to go speak or to stand up and give your opinion, just do it. And the more you dive into the discomfort of standing up for yourself or doing something you thought maybe you couldn't, guess what? You're gonna start to build confidence. And the second is truly being comfortable and authentic in who you are. I have found that authenticity always brings me the most success because I'm never trying to be something that I'm not. And when I do stand in those rooms, you like me or you don't, but I am what I am. And for me, being truly comfortable in who I am and truly confident in who I am and having the confidence to be authentic has been ultimately what allows me to stand in those rooms. And I think sometimes we think that maybe we have to chameleon or we have to change who we are to fit into something. And I just want to tell you, you're perfect just how you are. And if you are sitting in the right room with the right people, they will appreciate that and they will see that.
I love
so
that so
you do you and just be you.
I love that response. Did it take you a while to get there? Like over the years, is it something you've really had to learn, or is it more of like an innate, intrinsic
I think
quality?
Experience and you taking reps at the things that I'm talking about helps you build that. But I've always had a sense in me that I'm very grounded in who I am. And I did my own inner work first, which has allowed me to show up for my team in a meaningful way and be able to stand in rooms in a meaningful way. So I think just never give up and continue to chase your dreams. And you will, I promise, you'll get there. You'll get there in time. A lot of times I say, I think I made it to where I am just because I'm the one that didn't quit.
I love it.
So I work hard and I try hard and I'm always authentic to who I am, and then here we are. So the doors will open.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing all that. Honestly, it's so inspiring to be sitting with you today and just taking in your aura and energy. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We've got so much more to talk to when we return. Welcome back to Motherload. I'm here today with my lovely guest, Natassia from Fitness World. Thank you again so much for being here with me today. I want to chat a little bit more on your resilience when it comes to being a cancer survivor. It's so inspiring, your story. One of the things that you said to me recently when we chatted was, don't wait until you're sick to get healthy. Being healthy is going to be the thing that gets you through if you're sick. And I love that so much. It really resonated with me. Can you tell me a little more about what that means to you?
Yes. So my biggest lesson in this whole journey is stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So I was diagnosed with breast cancer right after I turned 37, which was wild. So I'm living a healthy lifestyle, I feel great, and then all of a sudden this diagnosis. And for me, I think it was one of the largest blessings in disguise around pushing a pause button to really reevaluate how I'm living my life and how I choose to show up for myself and for others. So with that, I would say I'm really glad it happened to me. But throughout the treatment was extremely difficult. And there were so many times where I was thinking, if I already didn't have these habits and this lifestyle, how in the world would I be getting through this? So no matter how healthy or not you are, when you undergo something like that, both physically and mentally, it's just extremely exhausting. And I was really blessed to already have a diet and exercise routine and lifestyle prior to getting sick. When you are diagnosed with something like this, you then go into this unwanted familyhood of the cancer group. And every time I would go to the doctor, what was super interesting for me as an observation, there were posters all around the center and all around the doctor's office about groups for exercise. And there was nothing ever talking about sugar or about anything else that you hear in common rhetoric. It was only exercise. So on my last visit to the doctor, I said, why are all the posters just exercise groups? And we're not talking about anything else. And she said, the only one defined thing that we have, that we know to help get through the treatment and to minimize your chances of reoccurrence is actually staying active. And I didn't actually know that fact. And so while I was going through my treatment, I worked out every day. Now, Natassia, some of the workouts were just walking to the stop sign and back. But I got up and I did it because I had the habit and I had the lifestyle and I had the knowledge and the tools. And throughout the treatment, then eventually as I started feeling better, I would be back in the gym. I was eating really healthy. I understood how to eat healthy. And I didn't have to implement those habits once I was already sick because being under treatment was enough to handle. So for me now, when we talk about exercise and fitness being so much more than just how you look, it's beyond that. And for me, having this health scare and going through this diagnosis, I truly say that fitness saved me. And I'm now continuing those lifestyle and those habits, and it's just the way that I live. And anybody that is watching this, just get those habits underway in case something happens, so then you can get through it with much more ease than you would if you're trying to implement things while you're already sick.
I think that's so powerful because I think so many of us are still somewhat caught in this skinny culture. And prior to getting sick, would you say you were a little bit wrapped up in that? Because we all were raised in that generation?
I think when I was younger, as I've continued to educate myself, and I think I'm at an unfair advantage because I do have an education in this, and I do truly understand what this does for your mental health, what this does for your long-term physical health. So for me, I have goals, but I don't always set my goals just to be something around a scale. I might set my goal about doing a physical competition or something that helps me with my mental health or something that helps me with my hormone balance. So for me, it's always been much larger because I have that knowledge and education. And then after going through something like this at such a young age, I want to share that story because I think fitness is so much more beyond looking a certain way.
Absolutely.
It literally can save your life.
If someone listening feels overwhelmed about their fitness journey, what's one thing you'd like them to take away from this episode if they're just having trouble getting going? And
well, that's extremely common, and
Yeah.
you're not alone.
Yeah.
So what I have found in the clients that I've worked with is find something you really enjoy doing. That's number one.
Yeah.
Because if you like it, you'll be much more set to want to go and do that. I think a big misconception is in order to get in shape, we have to run. I do not run.
You don't like running?
So for me, that's if you make a mindset and a program of running, I'm just simply not going to do it.
Yeah.
So for you, find something you like, and
Yeah.
then look at it as chunking the task or chunking the time.
Okay.
So again, all or nothing needs to go out the door.
Right.
A lot of us are perfectionists,
Yeah.
and we have we set these lofty expectations that maybe are not achievable. Set something small that's achievable
Yeah.
and think about growing from there.
Okay.
Rather than trying to maintain something unachievable and then falling off the wagon.
Yes.
So if you take it in smaller chunks and start to build the habit slowly,
Right.
you will see much more longevity of success.
Yeah.
And do things and eat things you enjoy.
Yeah.
And if you like it and you chunk your time and you find a realistic way to integrate it into your life, 30 minutes is better than no minutes. 3 days is better than no days.
Yeah.
So start small and then you can always build from there. And if you need help, just ask for help. So there's professionals that can help. It might assist you being in a group class where you have a scheduled time that you can then meet other people in the class,
Right.
or maybe coming to the gym with a friend that holds you accountable. These are all natural tools to help you stay consistent and to make this something that is sustainable and enjoyable for the long term.
Okay. One quick question on that though. How do you stay consistent when motivation disappears? Because I think it does for everybody. And like, let's just say it's one of those weeks. Like, how do you...
You know, one bad week doesn't mean that you fell off the wagon.
Yeah.
So ultimately,
Yeah.
motivation is something that comes intrinsically. And so if you have a really important reason why, that's going to be your actual motivation to stay doing this.
Yes.
So finding your larger why is going to keep you going on those hard days. And you know what? Some days are going to be hard.
Yeah.
And that's okay. There's some days in motherhood that's hard. You still wake up and do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So the days that you show up when you don't are the actual days that count.
Okay.
And if I start getting bored, I just change what I'm doing.
Yes.
So maybe I will engage in a different type of program, or I might go to a different facility, or I might use a different personal trainer in order to keep me entertained because I lose attention really fast.
I love that.
So I'm just like you, and I'm a normal person who has to choose it in a schedule and make it a priority.
Yeah.
And if I get bored or if I see myself starting to lose interest, I switch it
Yeah.
up, and then it keeps me going.
I think what I've taken away from this conversation is that health isn't about perfection. It's just about showing up for ourselves consistently through every season of our lives. And I just want to thank you so much, Natassia, for being here today.
Thank you for having
It's
me.
Such a pleasure to meet you and chat with you. You were so inspiring. And I just want to thank Fitness World for sponsoring this episode, and for you at home for tuning into Motherload. We'll see you next time. I nailed that one. Awesome. That's so tricky.